Hey guys, welcome back to Switch Top. Today, I'm breaking down 10 Nintendo Switch games that are genuinely worth every penny. No filler, no hype, just honest takes from someone who's actually put hours into each one. Let's get into it. Planet of Lana II is a cinematic puzzle platformer that hits different. You're guiding a girl and her small alien companion through a beautifully hand-painted world that feels alive in every frame. The gameplay is grounded. You solve environmental puzzles, use your companion's unique abilities, and sneak past threats rather than fighting them. There's no combat in the traditional sense, which sounds limiting, but actually makes everything feel more tense. The story unfolds without much dialogue, relying on visuals and atmosphere to carry the emotion, and it does that remarkably well. Each level flows naturally into the next, keeping the pacing tight. If you love games that feel like an animated film you're actually playing through, this one belongs in your library. Final Fantasy X/10-2 HD Remaster. Look, if you've never played Final Fantasy X, you're missing one of the greatest JRPGs ever made, period. This remaster puts both games on Switch in clean HD, and the experience holds up incredibly well. FFX drops you into a world under constant threat from a massive creature called Sin, and you travel with a group of distinct, memorable characters on a pilgrimage to stop it. The turn-based battle system is strategic and satisfying. You swap party members mid-fight based on enemy weaknesses, and it rewards thinking over button mashing. 10-2 shifts the tone completely, going lighter and more action-driven with a real-time battle system. 2 full games, dozens of hours, deep stories. The value here is undeniable. Dragon Quest VII is the kind of RPG that refuses to rush you. It's slow, deliberate, and unbelievably deep. And if you're willing to commit, it pays off in a massive way. The story starts in a small fishing village where nothing unusual ever happens. And then, you and your friends stumble onto fragments of a shattered world. Each stone shard you find transports you to a different time period and a completely self-contained story about the people living there. Some of those stories are heartbreaking. Some are funny. Some hit in ways you don't see coming. The gameplay is classic turn-based JRPG, with a vocation system where your characters can master different job classes and combine abilities over time. It takes hours before the game fully opens up, and that's honestly part of the charm. It earns your investment slowly. This isn't a game you fly through, it's one you live in for weeks. Bayonetta 2 is one of the best action games ever made. You play as Bayonetta, an Umbra witch with guns strapped to her heels, and the ability to summon massive, demonic creatures using her own hair. Yes, really. The combat is built around a mechanic called Witch Time. Slow down time by dodging at the exact last second, then unleash devastating combos on staggered enemies. Pulling it off feels unbelievably good. The game never slows down. It goes from jaw-dropping set piece to set piece, with an energy that few games ever match. You're fighting on top of a jet, inside a volcano, on the surface of the moon. It escalates constantly, and somehow keeps topping itself. Bayonetta herself is one of gaming's most memorable characters. She's over-the-top, confident, and weirdly endearing.
Is that all you've got?
Octopath Traveler 0 is a prequel that goes deeper into the world that made the original so compelling. It uses the same gorgeous HD 2D art style, pixel characters layered over soft-focus 3D environments, and the result still looks stunning. The game follows 8 new travelers, each with their own backstory, motivations, and unique path actions that let you interact with the world differently depending on who you're controlling. One character can challenge NPCs to duels, another can steal from them, another can recruit them as followers. It gives every town a different texture depending on your party. Combat uses the break and boost system from the first game. You figure out enemy weaknesses, break their guard, then amplify your strongest abilities for massive damage. It's strategic and rewarding without being punishing. Each character's story is independent, but thematically connected, exploring themes of ambition, loss, and survival.
Be strong. My turn. Attack!
Let's end this.
This is our chance.
Hades 2 drops you into Greek mythology and keeps you there for dozens of hours without ever feeling repetitive. You play as Melinoe, a princess of the underworld, fighting her way through the realm of the dead with the help of Olympian gods who lend you pieces of their power. Each run is built from boons upgrades gifted by different gods, and the combinations between them are endlessly varied. One run, you're launching poison clouds. The next, you're calling lightning strikes that bounce between enemies. The core combat is fast, precise, and feels great from the very first attempt. When you die, and you will, you go back to base, talk to the characters there, unlock permanent upgrades, and learn more about the story. The narrative keeps moving no matter what, rewarding you whether you succeed or fail. The writing is sharp, the voice acting is excellent, and the characters feel genuinely alive. Unicorn Overlord is a tactical RPG that brings back the feel of classic strategy games, but wraps it in systems deep enough to lose yourself in for weeks. You lead an army across a continent, trying to reclaim a kingdom from a tyrant, and the scale of it grows steadily as you recruit new units, liberate towns, and build alliances. Battles happen in real time on an overworld map. You send squads to intercept enemies, and combat resolves automatically based on the formations and orders you've set in advance. The tactical layer is all about preparation, who you put in each squad, what position they hold, and what conditional commands you give them. A cavalry unit positioned wrong gets punished hard. Get it right, and watching your squad tear through enemies is incredibly satisfying. There are over 60 recruitable characters, and the story handles them with surprising care, giving even minor characters real backstories.
Go. Strike them!
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a love letter to the brutal, precise action of the original NES trilogy, but built for modern players who want that challenge with sharper controls and better feedback. You play as Kenji Mozu, a young ninja thrown into a conflict larger than he understands, and the story expands on the classic Ninja Gaiden lore in ways fans will appreciate. The gameplay is relentless, enemies hit hard, stages are designed to punish mistakes, and the game expects you to learn from every death. Combat rewards aggressive play. You have a grappling hook for traversal and combat, a ranged weapon for crowd control, and melee combos that feel weighty and responsive. Each boss is a puzzle that demands you understand the tools you have. The pixel art is gorgeous, detailed, expressive, and packed with personality. Blasphemous 2 is a dark, punishing action platformer set in a world drowning in religious guilt, body horror, and gothic imagery. It expands on everything the first game did well: tighter combat, better movement, and a world that's even more visually striking. You play as the Penitent One, a silent warrior moving through a crumbling kingdom filled with grotesque enemies and punishing traps. The combat is methodical. Every hit you take is a choice you made wrong. Parrying feels precise and satisfying. Executing enemies properly gives you health and resources. You choose one of 3 weapons at the start, each with its own playstyle and upgrade path, and you can unlock the others as you progress. The world is connected like a classic Metroidvania, and backtracking reveals new paths and secrets constantly. Triangle Strategy earns the top spot because it's one of the most mature, thoughtful strategy RPGs ever made. The game puts you in the middle of a war between 3 nations fighting over salt and iron resources that sound mundane but drive a conflict with real weight behind it. You play as Serenoa Wolfert, a young lord caught between political factions, and the decisions you make throughout the game genuinely change how the story unfolds. Big choices go to a vote. Your party members each cast their ballot based on their own values and your history together. You can sway their votes through exploration and conversation, but you can't always predict the outcome. Combat is turn-based and grid-based, emphasizing positioning. High ground deals more damage. Flanking opens enemies up. Environmental hazards can be exploited or become threats. Every battle feels like a puzzle, with multiple valid solutions. Every game on this list gives you something real: story, challenge, or both. Drop your picks in the comments. If this helped, subscribe. More lists like this are coming. See you next time.